Tom, your frugal prepper. I'm out here, I'm working on the GMC Yukon to 03. Got a little noise when they make a left turn. Check this out. This is one of the worst ones I've seen. I got her all jacked up here, got a jack stand under it. I don't know if you can see how much that thing's moving. Yeah, makes me worry a little that I took it on the test drive. But yeah, so I'm gonna go get a hub for her, pop it in there. These pretty easy ones to do as long as they're not seized in. Alright folks, so we got the old hub tore out. I tore that out last night real quick. I figured I'd just do a video of putting this back together. I got the new Chinese hub from Advanced Auto Parts. These come with a wheel speed sensor. But this wheel speed sensor on the old one is not bad. So make sure that I take that off and give it to the owner. Because if you do lose just a wheel speed sensor, it's almost as cheap to buy a hub as it is to buy a wheel speed sensor. So, you know, if you have one or whatever, if he wants it, if not, I'll throw it in my spare parts. But they want like $100 for one of these sensors. Anyway, we're gonna clean this up and get the new hub seated back down in here and get it all back together. Get this thing shipped because I got a Honda Odyssey coming tomorrow, and I gotta get the Porsche finished. All right, I'll try to get you all in here as close as I can. Some air hose out here. So this is like a kind of a trick I learned from Erico. I'm just going to get down in here around where this hub seats and just lightly clean this off with this it's not angle grinder, this is a die grinder. You just want to not get too aggressive with it. It'll be nice and light and easy. Kind of put that exit back as far as I can. Just get the worst of this rust and corrosion out of here. So then I will just go ahead and spray this down with some fluid film. And then what I want to do is make sure that this hub face is going to be clean, where the hub's going to seat. There's some rust on that. So for that, I'll use this tool. Good. Now we're ready to get a hub out. That's weird. Now, they gave me a front wheel drive hub. Okay, back to the auto parts store. Okay, so I got the correct hub now. Alright, so now, can't forget our little metal plate. Let's go up on here. Yeah, this is pretty rusty too. So we're going to go ahead and just clean that guy off. In fact, it's got a little burr on it there where it's taking out the hub. So I'll go ahead and grind that down. Make sure this hub sits in here nice and flat. Take it, hammer that in. There we go. Now I want to make sure it's flat. Okay, now we'll just clean that guy off in the middle. Side. Alright. Right up there. And if I get all dirty, I better get my hands too messed up. Why do they gotta put that tag on there? Like that just slows you down. Over here. Come on, baby. Sometimes getting these to line up a little fun. Thread started. Alright. Now, let me show you. Back here, you'll see. I gotta change battery. Alright, so right here is this bolt for this ball joint. A lot of guys will take and nip those off with the torch or grinder so they can get to this bolt. So Tony the technician did a video recently and his video was on useless tools. And he had one of these low profile socket sets. And this is the only reason that I bought this whole set, was to get this 15mm. So I'm going to show you. You can't get a regular socket down in there, but you can fit this down in there. Pick your 15 low profile and your extension. Alright. And now that will slide in. You might have to pull the hub back out a little. It'll slide in here. You can push your axle in a little bit. And now you can get back here with a good decent socket wrench. Actually, I'm going to go clear on the other side here. Reverse this. And you can put that bolt right in there without having to nip that off or, you know, take a ball joint loose or anything. So that's why the low profile socket set is not useless. You just have to push the axle back a little. You just can't get quite the right angle with a regular shallow socket. Okay, and then push your axle back, pull it out. So, not such a useless tool. And it makes reaching these other bolts on the other side a little easier as well. There's that one. And now we just gotta reach in here. I'll grab this one. Alright. Little tiny low profile socket gets the job done. And it comes around from down here. Right. And then its first little click goes right here into this bracket. And goes up here. And see, we got a piece of the old one stuck in there. We're gonna have to get some pliers and rip that guy out. Okay, so when these little plastic things get hung on these Chevys, just get you a drill bit and a drill and go down in that hole. And that hole goes all the way through this control arm. There you can just drill it out like so. Go through it a couple times. That's about as good as it's gonna get. It's in there. Alright. We'll go ahead and rehang our caliper back up here. Off camera, I went ahead and did these other two and plugged the connector back in. So our ABS wire is run. And the hub is back on. What I like to do is just clean the inner and outer hat of the brake rotor and make sure that there's no rust chunks in there that's going to make that sit uneven. That's good. We'll spray a little fluid film on that guy. Didn't mean to get on the surface of the rotor. This rotor's ate up pretty good. I'd say it's been pad slapped a time or two. Alright. Throw this rotor back on. Get our axle nut at least started. We'll have to torque it down once it's back on the ground. And then we'll set that to the right torque with the torque wrench once it's back down. Okay, now we go ahead and throw the brake caliper brackets back on. Alright, now I'm going to clean off these pins for the caliper, and we're going to put some fresh grease on there. I like using this Ceramic CRC brake grease. Just happens to be my personal favorite. Squeeze some out of there. And if you watched Derek O's videos, you know don't overdo the grease. Put a nice little coating on it. Don't go crazy with it. Always like to make sure there's a little bit up here around the slip. There she goes. Okay. That one's in. Now we'll see if we can stick this one in. Oh, we'll slide our caliper over. That's good. Now I'm going to clean my brake pen off and re-lube it again. Make sure it's clean. Grab my start bits. Can you get, there's like a long thing of black Stanley start bits on the hanging from the lid on that Craftsman box. Alright. Let's take these star bits, just the big one. Alright. Front of this rotor looks perfectly good enough and clean enough for the wheel to go up there nice and flush. And now we just got to clean up and put the wheel on and then torque this axle. Alright, we're going to get this wheel back on. Again, I'm going to go over the axle nut and these lug nuts with a torque wrench. I'm just getting them seated up here so I can get the car on the ground. I always like to start my lug nuts first. I don't strip nothing. Alright, so now all I'm going to do is lower it down and we'll torque it up. Alright, so I'm going to dial my wrench up to 177. Oh, that's too high. 197. 177. Now we'll just go ahead and torque this bad boy down. Okay. This lug nut should be pretty darn close. These are 140. Each one's moving just a hair. I guess now we just gotta put these little guys back on here. Alright, we are all set. Take it for a test drive. Take it for a little drive, a little toot around the block here, and we're ready to ship it. He had to go on a trip here tomorrow, so he'll be happy to know that it's done.